Hmm. Okay, I think I am live. I think. I'm going to say yes. It looks like I am live. If you can see me, say hi. Let me know you're here. Hello, hello, hello. Best way to remove stickers is use a heat gun. How is everybody today? All right, today we're going to make a patriotic wreath. Yes, I know I'm a little bit ahead of the season. I will probably make maybe one or two more Easter wreaths, but I do a lot of like everyday wreaths. We're in the middle of an ice storm, y'all, so my internet is kind of going in and out, and my screen is freezing. So if this video drops, I probably won't try to come back because of our weather, but we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so we are using an 18-inch grapevine base, and I pulled a stem of ficus, a bush of some darker green fern. I've got, I think this is heather. Is it heather? It's not going to tell me, is it? No, I think this is like heather, a type of heather. I got this at Michael's. We're going to be using some navy blue cabbage roses that I also got at Michael's. Here is some red spring filler. And I got this at Michael's, but I don't remember what it's called. Michael's never puts anything on their tags. That's sad. And then some more of the daisy that we used last week. I've already cut off of it, you remember. We're going to use some more of that this week. This isn't a big full design. We're only going to do, we're going to design this part of it. The sign's going to be down here. We're going to do a bow using a 4-inch ribbon, a 2.5 inch, and a 1.5 inch. Probably going to do the same bow that I did last week or the week before. All right. I'm going to make sure there's nothing that's going to scratch my sign on here. Oh, finally I can see some comments. Yay. Hi, Tracy. Oh, Casey, my girl. How are you, honey? How are you? All right. So, all right, getting sidetracked here. I've been awake for over 24 hours. I'm a little kind of loopy because I'm sleep deprived. So I apologize if I stutter and I say a lot today. So since we have to put mounts on this, I think, let me see where these holes are going to hit. Maybe we put, we could just use wire today. Maybe we could use wire. Let me see what color cleaners I've got down here. Anything dark? My blues are really bright blue, and they'll stand out like a sore thumb, I think. And we're not bringing, how bad is it? We're not bringing the florals down so we can cover the mechanics on this, sadly. Let's just see how that looks. Ugh. I really have this distaste for using anything that I can't cover. Red just won't look right. I don't have anything else I can use. So that means we are probably going to do the cable mount. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do the cable mounts. I hate to do that, but you will bring the troops. That's awesome. I appreciate you, Casey. Johnny, was it you that were asking me for the greens last week? Just to let you know, I haven't been able to go yet. It is not even close to me. I have to drive an hour to get to that store, but I'm planning on going tomorrow, weather permitting or roads permitting, because right now we're going through an ice storm. But as soon as weather allows me to get that far, I will look into getting that greens for you. Hi, Esther. Hello, Miss Lori. All right, so let's get the mounts on. So basically, we're going to cover and florals from here to about here. So it's a little over a third. Our bow is going to go here, of course, at the 11 o'clock position. So here's the pre-drilled holes. If I were to put cable mounts, I'd want to put them close to those. So let's do that. And you know, I don't like my sign to stick way over here. A little bit off the edge of the grapevine is okay, but my personal preference is to have it closer in, and that'll help you in the end when it comes to choosing a box size that you can actually afford to ship. So let's just go in and put them right beside each one of the pre-drilled holes. It would be the left side of each one. And we'll make those work. Say the left side, is that what I said? Yes. Okay. Anybody else like knee deep in snow and ice? Thank you, Johnny, for being understanding. I appreciate that. Ooh, somebody's got a new Shopify. That's exciting. All right, so we know at this point we're going to put some of the E6000 around the mount. Oh, for crying out loud. You gotta be kidding me. Another one I think I can stick down in there. Just one of those days when everything's not going as planned. There we go. My hands don't want to squeeze. They've been rough for a few weeks now. doesn't want to come up out of here. So basically all I'm doing is running the E6000 around the edge of the bracket. But the trick is when you put the mount on there, there's just a little bit of a ledge where you could get underneath it. So I make sure I'm pushing the adhesive underneath that ledge and making sure that it overlaps onto the hard plastic of the mount. That's how you get a secure hold. I think today, because of my hands, we're going to have to go the big gloopy way because that's just painful. Because this goes into the wreath, you can't see it. And if you can see an edge or something, we'll just put moss over it to cover it. It's not a big thing. I'm more concerned with getting enough adhesive on it than what it's going to look like at the end, because I can cover all the ugly on the back. You've had snow since October. Negative 32 right now. Oh, good gravy. That's crazy. Are you, do you get affected by the, what is it, the SAD, the seasonal affective disorder? Is that what it's called? Like I've had a couple of friends who lived in Canada. One of them actually took his own life, and the other one, I think they might suffer from it a little bit. I use way more adhesive when I do it like this. But I also didn't have the heat on, and it's freezing, so everything in here was kind of frozen cold. I should have done this before the live, but oh well. I didn't. So now we're here. You're only up there because your granddaughters are there. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that. It's I know there's several of you that I remember from when I was doing lives that suffer from it as well. So I know y'all can understand. All right. So while that's setting up, let's go ahead and do our bow. And we can start laying in some greens. And then we'll be ready for this in a little bit. I'm just going to sit it back here. Actually, I'm just going to sit it right there. So we're going to do our bow next. I'm kind of all over the place today, ain't I? Sorry, y'all. My little guy's been sick this week. He stayed home Monday and Tuesday because he was sick. And then the ice storm came in, so they put him on homeschool for Wednesday, Thursday, and today. But it's been a long week. It's 18 inches, Miss Linda. Well, it's not too warm in Texas, is it? How are y'all feeling with snow? I know some parts of Texas get snow more than others. What part are you in, Miss Linda? All right, so I just cut a piece of wire, run it down the center, pulled the ends underneath, kind of folded it over, and then I'm going to set the bow maker right on top of it. So this is a nice 4-inch ribbon, but I don't think this is going to hold a curl very well. We'll see. Oh, it might. Looks can be deceiving. I'm gonna trim up this yucky edge here. Well, Esther, that is good to hear. That is good to hear. My family and I lived in Washington State for a while, and it was a little rough up there as well because it's gloomy all the time. All right, so this is one that the end isn't going to stay folded over very well, so I will put just a little bit of glue, just like a slime trail from a slug. You know what those look like? I just get a little bit on the tip of my glue gun and kind of work it back and forth. I don't want big dollops of glue, especially on this kind of ribbon, because it'll come through. So you have to be really careful. Johnny, your granddaughter was diagnosed at 21, or she's 21, but she was diagnosed previously. I was, well, Hayden is 14, so 13 years ago is when I was diagnosed. So I was 35, 34. You're in the Dallas Fort Worth. It was Fort Worth that had that big old pile up. I saw a little bit on Facebook about it. Just a sad situation. Something that I read said that a lot of the people that were either killed or injured in it were like first responders and like nurses and EMTs on their way to or from work, because it was like the time when the hospital changed out shifts or something. All right, so I got that and tucked under just a little bit. When we use a ribbon that doesn't dovetail well, this is how we remedy that. We just roll that edge under a little bit, because you want to keep the end from fraying. So if you've got a ribbon that if you dovetail it, those ends are going to fray really bad. Don't dovetail it. Do this. The Vancouver area, yeah, that's just north of Seattle where we were, of course. You know this. And so the same type weather. And yeah, and I mean, it's cloudy darn near every day. They have very few days of sun up there. So it's just crazy. All right, so since we're going to not fill in the whole thing or way down here, we're going to do the bow like we did last week, but we're going to leave longer tails that we can just drape down here. The sign's going to be here, and then we're going to have our florals up here. It's not a real elaborate, well, I say it's not real elaborate. It's just not big. It's not as big as, what I typically show you guys how to do. But that's okay. So we're going to start with 18 inches, and you're going to pinch. I'm just slow moving and all over the place, and I apologize. All right, and we're going to do about a 14-inch loop. Once we get the first ones made, you don't have to measure again. Now, since this is 4-inch, we're only going to do one loop on each side. Put your twist in. I should have pulled out my spool holder again. All right, so then we'll do 14 inches for the other side. Bring the tail down to the bottom. And at this point, I will make sure both my loops are the same. Once I'm happy that they're both looking uniform, then I'm going to cut the tail on the other side about the same. This isn't the easiest ribbon to work with. It's really flimsy all in the fabric part. But it's got some good wire, it seems. So that's its saving grace. It's a good wire. All right, we have to do the same thing on this one. I'm only allowing just a little bit to come out the tip. I don't want a bunch of glue, just enough on the tip that I can smear across there a little bit. Okay. Sometimes you only have to do it once. Sometimes you have to do it twice. This is one we're going to have to do it twice on. And that's okay. Why do I glue the ends of the ribbon? I glue the ends of ribbon that I'm not going to dovetail, and it's to give it a finishing edge and also to keep the ends from fraying or the wire from poking out the ends and working its way out. So it's just a different way to finish the edge when it's a ribbon that's not going to function well as when it's dovetailed. Okie doke. So we got our bottom layer down. Now we're going to take the 2.5 inch. So we did 4 inch, 2.5 inch, then we'll do the 1.5 inch on top. And I chose a navy to go with the navy. I chose the polka dots to simulate the stars, and then the 1.5 inch red and white stripes to simulate the stripes. And you've kind of got both in the ribbon. So it played really nicely together. You're very welcome, Esther. All right, so we did an 18-inch tail last time. We're going to do 16-inch tail this time. Ta-da! All right, now at this point, because we measured our first ones, we're just going to go off that for our second one. So we've measured our tail, I've put in the twist, and then we've laid it down and pressed it down there into the bow maker. So now I'm just going to slide it in there, and with my finger, kind of measure it. I want it to come in about an inch or so from the last one. Okay, and then you're going to twist. And we're going to do 2 loops on each side of the navy polka dot. The only thing about making a bow this way, the way I do, is my tails always get in the way. But the way I've got the camera set up, I just, I'm not in my element making a bow like I am when I'm just sitting here by myself. One day I'll get the studio set up really nice for y'all. I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but I still have my Christmas tree up. Actually, the one in the kids' bedroom too. So my living room and the kids' bedroom trees are still going strong. So I'm going to measure this one by the last one that I put in of the same color. Just like that. Make the twist. And then we'll trim another tail about the same size as the other one. If all my stuff comes in, we're going to be doing an Easter one next week. But because of this storm, not all my stuff is coming in. I did get one thing today. It was this sign, actually, and another one that came in the same package. Okay, we'll do 14 inches on this tail. So we did 18, 16, 14. Okay, so we'll lay that in. We're just going to come in just a little bit from that last one. We're going to do 2 loops on this one. Actually, we may do 3. Hold phone. May do 3. But this third one, we're going to make a little smaller. We'll take our wire, pull it to the top, crisscross it, cinch down, pinch it really tight or as tight as you can. And I mean, I have rheumatoid and my hands are achy. So if you can imagine, this isn't super tight for me. Y'all could probably actually get yours tighter if your hands are healthy. All right. So instead of cutting an extra piece and putting a center strip down the middle, we made a smaller third loop. I'm just pulling the loops apart before I put it on the wreath. All right. So let's get our needle. Hi, Sherry. Linda. You are ripping off Velcro on his uniform. Military uniform, Miss Linda? All right, so we're going to put this up at about the 11 o'clock. Y'all know where I like it. I don't think I need the needle for this one. This is kind of a real loose weaved grapevine, sadly. I don't know about y'all, but I've been having a hard time finding good grapevines. If there ever comes a week or so that we're doing something other than grapevines, just know that there's a shortage in my area. Okay. Just take and I pull them opposite each other and I kind of twist. I put my 4 fingers in and I pull them opposite and I twist. Okay. Do the same thing for here. Twist. And what that does is that loosens them up out of that tight position and lets them open fuller. Okay, because when you twist that bow, kind of compresses everything down. So when you twist, it kind of opens up that fold that happens. He's a major in the Army. Well, thank him and you and your whole family for your service. All right, so since we rolled those bottom pieces, we're probably going to roll the rest of them as well. Like I said, sometimes ribbons roll just fine and will stay on their own, and sometimes they don't. If they don't, that's when we glue. But I always give a good, nice trimmed edge to start with. And if my tails are different lengths, I am all the more happier because I like things that are a little different. I like the lengths being a little different. These are just not going to lay as pretty as the others, but they will curl, so that's a plus. Okay, see how nice that is? Not bad. Perfect. Okay, let's start putting in some greenery and stabilizing that bow. The greenery helps stabilize your bow. His wife is a major to dual military. That's amazing. Have they ever had any issues getting stationed at the same place together? We had a couple who were our military family, we call them, and sometimes they had issues. Alrighty. So for the greenery, like I said, I brought 1 stem of ficus and then some darker fern. Okay, this is not one that I can scooch up and condense, so this is, all these pieces are going to be real light and airy. First, let's get our ficus down. Pretty much every branch of ficus you can cut down into 3 big pieces. I typically save this one big long piece to do for the side, and then I do the two smaller pieces this side and back here. And then we will move on to the other green. Okay, so let's make sure we got our bow and our wreath where it's going to be hanging, or in the position it's going to hang. We want the tails to kind of come down a little bit, and the sign is going to be off to the side, like right here. Okay, and then we'll have some florals and greenery kind of coming down this side. That's the visual. Let's just start building. I put a little bend in it, a little curve, because that's where I'm going to put it in the wreath. Okay, so you see, put a little C-shaped curve. Then I'm going to put it in the wreath that way, kind of under the bow back here. I probably should have cut that stem down way shorter, but that's okay. Now, I don't want this to really hang too low, so I'm going to come up fairly high under the bow and slide that in right there. Okay, I think this piece we're going to put to the right of the bow. I try not to fight with the piece too much. Whatever piece I'm working with, so this section, I try to place it in a way that it's going to work with me. You know, I don't go against what it wants to do, basically. If it wants to lean in a certain direction, then I make sure I place it where leaning in that certain direction is okay. So sometimes you just have to design around the pieces that give you a little problem. One was in Iraq and Afghanistan. Bless their hearts. I can't imagine how hard that would be. My husband had 2 tours. He went to Kuwait and Iraq, and well, that was hard. I can't imagine being dual and not being able to, you know, or knowing, you know, what your spouse is going through and not being able to be there, you know, as his comfort. And there we go. Put just a little bit of height up here, but I don't want too much. Just like I'm not going to extend super far out here. We're going to go a little bit, but not super far. All right, now we're going to put in some fern, I think, first. Okay, so this is one, like I told y'all last week. Make sure that you are turning all the leaves the proper direction. So each one of these has its own individual stem that you can twist and turn in the right direction. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Some of them, like this piece, are not so easy. When you've got the ones that you can, you know, condense up, just gonna go zoop, those adjust way easier than these. Okay, so now again, like I said, you look at your piece. How is it laying? Don't fight with it. So just find the best place for it. It's probably going to be somewhere right up in there. Now, it makes your life a whole lot easier if you don't have a lot of leaves up near the grapevine. you can insert this much cleaner. So I'm kind of coming in between the two ficus pieces that I put in, and I put a piece of the fern. Okay. In there. So we're going to come right in here with this next piece. And we need a piece there and one down here, it looks like. Sometimes the best greenery is the most pain in your butt. But taking the extra time to make sure all your leaves are pointing the right way makes a huge difference. Ooh, some sticking in my nose. All right, we're going to come out. I'm going to give this a little bit of a curve. Actually, I'm going to do like an S, so it's kind of shaped like this. I know you can't hardly see the main stem, but it's shaped like an S. I'm going to come out here with it. Bow, right in here. Okay. I need another piece probably there and another piece down there. So yeah, we'll use all the pieces that I cut. I cut 5 pieces off the bush, and it'll leave 2 pieces and a bunch of little pieces that you can pick individually in place if you need to. You need some filler. I will warn you about some of these deeper greens. When you're shopping in the store, if they're covered in plastic, take and stick your finger down in there and do this on the leaves and make sure that the green dye doesn't rub off, because if it does, the first time that they get wet in your wreath on someone's door, they're going to spread ink. So just, you'll learn from my lesson. So now I test the greens that I use to make sure they're not gonna rub off on my finger. You know, sometimes they have a really funky smell too. I'm gonna lift up the skirt of my bow here, right under. Kind of want it to come out, you know, peek out from around the bow. So this one is gonna come up from underneath the bow this way. Hi, Kathy. No, we're not too far into it. I'm really moving slow today. So we're in an ice storm and internet hasn't been cooperating, which I'm happy to say we're doing really good right now. Let's hope I just didn't jinx it. All right, so I turned all those pieces forward. Now we're going to come up under the bow with this one. Lift her skirt and come right up under like that. See, now that helps hold the bow up as well. So, like I said, when you're adding your greens, use them to help give you stability for your bow. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see, move those away. What else we got here? We've got the cabbage roses. We've got the pretty yellow heather. I'm pretty sure that's heather. And then the daisies. But we're not going to use the leaves on the daisies, remember? I just don't like the greens on them. Not a fan. All right, that's probably enough of the daisies. All right, for now, I am pulling the rose leaves off. I may go back and pick them individually, but I may not. We'll just see how it looks once I get all these in there. That'll be enough. Okay. There are daisies. Take the one white section piece off. Put it back on. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Kathy. It's just a little variation of the one we did last week or the week before. And the variation was that instead of doing a strip down the center, we just added a smaller third loop. Whoops, I pulled the top off. If I pull the top off of something like this, I make sure I glue it back on. Absolute 100%, because that's what holds the rest of the stuff on. So if your cap is loose, you always run the risk of it falling apart. One more. I'm just prepping all the rest of the pieces that are going to go in because it'll flow a little faster if we've got it all ready. I'm going to have to just cut that one because I can't pull it. Some days are a struggle, but it doesn't keep me from making. Just makes me slow. All right. Then we have the yellow. We've got some red. We'll start with that, and we'll see how far that gets us. That gets us some good red. These don't cinch up either. They're all individual little pieces. So, all right. First, we're going to place our cabbage roses. Let's see how we want to place them. One over here, one there. I guess they need to be in a triangle. So let's just do a dry run placement real quick. There. Know if I want to pull one down here or not. Maybe. So let's rethink this. Let's do this. Maybe. Zoom out a little bit. How are we doing? I think it would help if I had the sign on. Yeah, it still needs a little while. I think that's going to be okay right there. I do. We're going to roll with that. That's too cold for me, girl. All right. We're going to go in and glue these in. Let's get the top one in. Trying to keep things in tight. But I still want my 4-inch ribbon to show. So, all right. I think we're good there. Yep, I do believe so. I've got enough length that I can bend them a little bit if necessary. What do I want to put next? I think next need to go these little beauties. Gonna trim them way down. Save all the pieces that I cut because we use them every week. Johnny, you're okay, honey? All right, so give it just a little bit of shape. We're going to start going in and placing this evenly dispersed throughout. We're going to start on this side. There we go. I don't know why I feel compelled to touch the bow after everything that I put in. I put quite a bit of the white flowers in. I woke up this morning to a lady asking me if I could get an Easter wreath to Massachusetts in one day. And I'm like, no, that's probably not going to happen in this weather. So she finally decided it was okay that she could wait till, Wednesday to get delivery, but she sure wanted it right now. The fun thing about those kind of orders, though, it's a challenge. It's like I want to overachieve, so I try to get them shipped as soon as I can. But this time of year, right after the holidays, with the weather, I mean, you just can't be too sure when things are going to get delivered anymore. That's just one thing that, I can't stress enough is communication with your customers. They're less likely to leave you a bad review if kept them aware of any issues or, you know, now I know some of you, who are sign makers, y'all probably get, quite a few orders a day, and I understand that you can't, answer everybody. But customer service is a big thing, a huge thing that can make or break someone on Etsy. So I'm going to come underneath here too. I kind of want some coming out around the bow, kind of peeking out. They don't have to, be real prevalent, but you want some. It gives depth. We're going to pull this one behind. Hot glue everywhere. All right, now these, I don't know if I'm going to leave them this long. Maybe. Maybe. We're going to try. We're going to see how we like it. Likey, likey. $23 spools of ribbon. Oh my gosh, you have the best sister. All right, so since these are kind of, they're on separate, sorta, little stems, I'm giving it as much life as I possibly can. There we go. You did have to pay her back. Well, still, it was nice of her to go to Sam's. Because going in Sam's, it's like you go in there, you know you're going to spend at least, $100, maybe more. $200. I can't ever get out of there under a couple of hundred. I have, ravenous, hungry boys. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. My leaf got stuck in my glue. So we wait till it dries and then we can pull it off. Right, right. Let's look at it. I think we need another piece of fern. Not with that many leaves on it. Your personal shopper. That's awesome. I haven't been to my Sam's since the talk of ribbon, spring ribbon came about. I really need to go. But I'm so rural to get to these places. It's like an hour. And I know it's just an hour, but still. There we go. I like you that better. Something a little bit back there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this other piece. And can't hold it. Oh, I'm sure. I guess that's, probably been stuck in the back of my head, and that doesn't, give me motivation knowing that I'm gonna get there and there's probably not gonna be any left. But it's okay. I mean, have y'all seen the pictures of my ribbon? I don't need ribbon. I only buy ribbon because, I have a shopping addiction, not because I need ribbon. I think we're going to come right in here with this one. Just a little bit more down here underneath the bow. And we'll put some red, red, red. That piece just doesn't look real swift on the end. I think we're going to hold that one back and use one that does look a little better on the end. There. A peekaboo white and red in there. Make sure we're not pushing our ribbon or our roses into the wrong spots. All right, now a little more red right there. The red flowers are spring bush. They're from Michael's, and the SKU is 650199. You know what? Hang on. I can tell y'all. I found this cool little thing. I just have to take my phone off. Where is it? Right here. In your Michael's app, across the top of the search bar, it's got like a little barcode looking thing. If you touch that, well, is it? Okay, if you touch that, it brings up this little thing, and you can scan your barcode. And of course, my app just shut down. Hold on, let's try that again. You can scan your barcode, and it will tell you what it is. Let's try that again. Nothing in my house is working right today. Okay, it's a red astrantia bush. That's what it's called, red astrantia bush by Ashland. So here, I will take a picture. And then what else am I using? I'm using this. Oh, no results found. I got this like last year, I think. Let's try that again. Maybe it just didn't read all the barcode. Yeah, no results found for that. And then the cabbage roses. I know I've got another one right here. Cabbage roses. And I'll post these screenshots in the comments below. No results found for it. It's just navy blue cabbage roses. I don't know why they're not finding. That's weird. Weird, weird. Who knows? You're welcome. I wonder if I could go back. Do they put that kind of information on the receipt? Because I could go back and look on that, I guess. I'm going to do this fairly long piece and kind of an S-shaped as well. And it's going to go out here to the side. We don't have any red out here yet. Move our bow out of the way. I think one long one needs to come out the bottom. Down there. Yeah. Kind of in the back here, so it has some depth. It carries your eye to the back. So like right here, just lift everything up and come up under to the back. Just like that. Alrighty. Let's see. Now we've got the yellow. I am almost done, sweetheart. I don't know, but not many. One back here, please. Thank you. All right. So these. I'm not going to put a whole bunch of this in, I don't think. Maybe just like 3 pieces. We'll see how that turns out. Gorgeous. Covered in blue. These pieces, you can pretty much put them where you want on this yellow stuff. They've got good wires in them. Perfect. Little one right there coming out underneath the bow. This. So I split the tails. I squished the bow a little bit, so we got to go in and fix it. Okay. I think maybe that long piece coming out the bottom and the back. It's just about balancing out all the pieces that you've put in there. Where do we want this one? We want it right about here. Probably at this point have to roll up your tails again. So we've messed with it so much. Let me look at it from back here. That's really not bad. Not bad at all. Let's check our sign. Eloise said that's okay. You can watch the replay, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comment box down below, and I'll come back and answer them if you have them. All right, so now it's sign time. All right, we're going to use brown because it matches the grapevine. So we'll put that right there. I'm going to have to lay it down on the table, y'all. If you've got a really tight woven grapevine, you can use your needles if you've got them. If not, y'all should go pick them up from Dawn's Etsy shop. Oh, come on, go through. I may have to use it now. There's this one little branch I can't get past. There we go. Nope. I always hate placing the sign. It's the hardest part. Why do I keep getting this sideways? Oh, having issues. Oh, because I'm putting it up in the wrong spot. What's the most amount of times y'all have ever like tried to attach a sign, take it back off and try to attach it again? How many times? What's the most? I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that today. How far is that? That's not too far. I think I could get away with that. I'm trying not to make it stick too far out past there. All right. I think we got it right there. We need to go. Thread and needle blindfolded here. There we go. Boy, that was difficult. All right, let's look and make sure we like it. This way. This is the way it's supposed to be, y'all. I'm gonna scream. I mean, it's not bad. It's just sitting a little high. Doggone it. It needs to come down. This is what it looks like, y'all. Y'all can stay or y'all can go. I'm not going to put any more in it. This is what it's going to be. But this side is going to have some adjusting. And I don't know how many times it's going to take me to get it right. Oh, for crying out loud. I can't even untwist the tie. Thank y'all. I appreciate your kind words. See, that's where it should be riding, right there. Can I just move these down? I think so. Instead of taking it completely off, I could work the pieces down. So I think I can do the same thing. Maybe I just made this work. Yay. All right. Here we go. We're done, y'all. I will probably replace that sign again. I don't know. We'll see how it looks when I get it on the door and I'm able to get pictures of it. If it looks wonky, I'll take it down and I'll mess with it till I get it right. What do y'all think though? We didn't put a whole lot of stuff in it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'll hold it up so y'all can see a little better. Hard for me to tell which way I gotta make it go. There we go. Woo! So basically we used one stem of ficus, we used one bush of fern, we used about 3/4 of a bush of astrantia, we used about half of a bush of this wispy heather, We used 1/4 of a bush of the daisy, and that's all we have in it, besides a sign and about 3.5 yards of ribbon, maybe 4 yards of ribbon. All right, y'all. USA all the way. Amen. That's right. I have. I don't know where I said it. Hold that. Hold that thought. Ah, here it is. I got a red one too. You can't even see it. There's a glare. So you could totally do red as well. Red or blue. Either or. All right, lovelies. I am going to go probably take a nap. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Looks like my new time's working out really well. I'm glad you guys could come and hang out. Thank you so much, Kathy. I got them off Etsy. I loved them both. But yeah, you could do interchangeable. You know, this color scheme could go for either sign. So if one was out of stock, you could grab the other. I'm pretty sure even Craft Outlet has these signs. They're pretty common. All right, ladies, y'all have a fabulous weekend. Stay warm, stay safe if you've got to be out in all of this wintry slush and snow and ice. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Have a good one, y'all.